The Windows Azure Management Portal, of course, is your primary interface for configuring and setting up virtually everything that you have within your subscription. But a lot of organizations these days are looking for remote management capabilities and simply the ability to connect to any type of service using another type of tool that maybe they're a little more familiar with. And one, of course, that is very commonly used these days is PowerShell. So what you can do with respect to your Azure subscription, in fact, is to manage it using PowerShell. Now, you can go to just any one particular virtual machine, and if we click on the one that we have here, you do see that there is an option right here about using the PowerShell commandlets for managing this virtual machine. And I can also go to my endpoints, and in fact, you see that PowerShell does set up a port by default, but this is to only manage that particular virtual machine. You might have dozens of virtual machines, and you would have to do the same thing for each one of them in terms of setting that up. But again, that's purely for administering those VMs using PowerShell. Well, what Azure gives you is the ability to manage your entire subscription. All of these options can be controlled and administered using PowerShell. So we're going to have a look at just doing the initial setup tasks for being able to connect to your Azure subscription using PowerShell. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is just go to the Windows Azure homepage, which I already have running here. Okay, just windowsazure.com, and then just click here on the downloads page. And what you'll see, of course, is that there are a number of SDKs that you can download. But under command line tools, right here, we see the Windows PowerShell. So you're going to want to just click on install. And that's just going to download and run a fairly standard installation program. Just next through that install, and pretty much that's all you need. Now, I have already installed this, so I'm just going to cancel it. But as I said, you can just run it from there and do the installation. Now, once you have that downloaded and installed, that's certainly step one. But then we also need to make sure that you have some security implementations in place. Most notably, you have to have a certificate. So I'm just going to scroll down to the very bottom here and click on Settings. And under Management Certificates, we'll see any kind of certificate that has been implemented already. Now, several of the other demonstrations that were done did require a certificate, so we already have one here. If you don't have one, then you can use the Make Cert utility, and you can just generate a self-signed certificate, and then all you need to do is go into your management console, add in your certificate snap-in, and there is your root certificate there. Now, all you need to do from here is to right-click on this, go to All Tasks, and export the certificate. Okay. When you choose the export option, you're going to just want to send this out in CER format, which again, I've already done. So that just generates a file that can then be used to upload to your subscription. So I've got the file right here on my desktop, okay, myrootcert.cer, and all that had to be done was here in the portal was to click upload and specify that file. Okay. That just guarantees, of course, the identity of the computers. So download and install PowerShell. Then go and upload your root certificate, and basically you're set to go. Those are the first two steps. Once those have been completed, we'll see how we can set up the subscription so that we can access the entire Azure subscription through the Windows Azure PowerShell.